we woke up and don't want that bullshit.
Was not white. Not white like the men who lynched Negroes, but that he was black. We'll be back to continue the hate that hate produced with the treatment of the black racists' attitudes towards Christianity in just a moment after these commercial messages. And now back to our story. These black supremacists, Muslims and black nationalists, are not practitioners of hate just for hate's sake. They did not grow in a vacuum. Rather, theirs is the hate that hate has produced. The hate that some Negroes are returning for the hate most American Negroes have received for the past 300 years. The burden of being a black man in America has proved more than some of them can bear. And so now they are fighting back with the same weapons that were used to subjugate them. They're finding it, some of them, increasingly difficult to identify with America. They've lost faith in the honesty of American law enforcement agencies when it comes to protecting their individual rights.
We never found any faith in the old law system that hung us, cut our dicks off, butchered us, denied us right to protect and sustain jobs. We never had no freaking faith in that. There was no losing anything that you never had. All you white people know that. What make you think there was anything about our circumstances in America that would justify the notion that we at one time had faith and to whoop your ass every time I see you, write you a ticket, shoot your father, shoot the son, police can't help you, you don't have insurance, medical system, okay? You don't have enough money, freaking commercial system. Ain't nobody never had no, people with melanin descent ever had no faith in this country. We was just easily brainwashed to believe that eventually things would get better. With the We Shall Overcome song that we were singing in the freaking marching stupid that our asses were in.
Many of them have abandoned Christianity and have named it a dogma of enslavement.
It is a dogma.
Even those who have not abandoned it are preaching that Jesus was not white, like the men who lynch and discriminate against Negroes.
Jesus was white. Jesus was a name that was comprised and orchestrated at the Council of Nicaea, 325 years after Yeshua had came and died. They created the name Jesus and gave it a white personification. Before that, they had a Serapis god. They had so many different gods that were just sun worship gods. When they created a white image of a god is when the name Jesus came into play. And so when you use the word Jesus, you are using the name of a white man. The proper way to talk about Jesus when you wanted to have a personification of the original melanated man, you got to call him Yeshua. When you say Jesus, you're talking about the mythological folklore of white man. You want to talk about the black man? Say Yeshua.
But that he was a black man. James Lawson shows the black supremacists' concept of Jesus. And notice how much the...
Why we got to be black supremacists? Why can't we just be black people that's recovering from the white supremacy mistreat that we received in this country? Which is the true dynamics of what's going on.
Jesus in the painting and James Lawson resemble what...
Do you notice in the painting of the black Jesus, you see the halo over his head that is the sunlight that you see following me around? This is where Jesus got it from. But of course, we're the imposters when we have the skin synonymous with the sunlight. But you see the same halo glow, sun glow over the white man here who has no melanin to process sunlight, but we got to be the imposters. Man.
On another.
Mr. Lawson, in conjunction with your remarks that the Negro needs a black God, or at least some image he can identify with, I wonder if you tell me what this picture is and what it's all about.
Oh, well, we don't mean a black God. We know that God is spirit. But this is a painting, the concept of an artist of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. And, Solomon himself said, "Look not upon me because I'm black and common." And someone else's quote, I think in Revelation, where it says, his hair is like a lamb wool and his feet like polished brass. Therefore, we feel that we're on sound ground when we refer to Jesus as possibly being a black man. After all, Jesus was of the tribe of Judea.
The American Negro has never quite forgotten that he became a slave and a Christian at the same time. For a good many of them, this is something they feel deeply but don't often talk about.
Just so you can know, the tribe of Judea was the tribe of the people who called themselves Hebrews. They was in Israel. Okay. Now listen, they had a lion as the mascot. Okay, the tribe of Judah. And then Judaism is the name now that the Jews use to launch their religious philosophical teaching. But this lion thing, these are white people from Europe, from the caves of Europe. They come into Judea and learn from the black people, and they understand the power of the lion and everything that you see in Egypt synonymous with the Sphinx. So they come and steal our religious teachings and claim them for themselves. Now I want you to show me how white people came from Africa using the lion as an icon and all this stuff, but then all of their heritage and their nationalism is in Europe, where you don't even find a damn lion at. Now you should be able to make deductions like that and see how these guys came into the lands and studied with us and then murdered us and stole all our teachings and claimed them for themselves. What white man you know can honestly sit there and try to claim ownership of a religious propaganda that uses a lion, the tribe of Judah, that uses a lion as a mascot? And here they white asses is trying to perpetrate like they from the original people from tribe of Judah with the lion and everything, when you know for a fact lions are synonymous with Africa, which means that the people who took that teaching into the Canaanite land were people who originally dwelled in the African soil and left there with their same teachings from Egypt and went into the land that is synonymous with Egypt, like right next door. And then the white people came there and murdered everyone and stole their knowledge and claimed it for themselves. Israel and Egypt is so close to each other, it's pathetic. Then you see the Sphinx, the body of a lion in Egypt. Then you go to Israel, the modern day Israel, which used to be Judea, which used to be Palestine. It's always changed so much. It used to be Canaanites. But when it was the land of the Canaanites, when the Hebrew people was there, they called themselves Judea. The tribe of Judah were black people that you read about in the Bible. And that's the reason why you see them synonymous with lions. Because that's the weather formation. And that's who those people were that went into Israel from the Africa launching point, with all knowledge of Africa following them there. Thus, the tribe of Judah.
For the Muslims and the black nationalists, the alleged failure of Christianity is an obsession. And they talk bitterly of this alleged failure to power their cause. Listen to John Davis, paid orator for the United African Nationalist Movement, as he sets the theme. He begins by talking of a sleeping child. And then he talks of Mac Parker, the Negro who was lynched recently in Mississippi. And he calls for an end to the brainwashing imposed by the Christian religion.
You are still a sleeping giant, and you'll be all right as soon as they get religion out of you. When they take this religion out of you and brainwash you about this Jesus and this hereafter, you'll be all right. Do you know that Matthew Parker's mother believed in God, but she believed in the wrong God? That's how come Mac is dead. If Matthew Parker's mother, now remember I didn't say for you not to believe in God. I said get this white man's religion out of you.
But it is Elijah Muhammad, spiritual leader of the white-hating Muslims, who make the bitterest attacks on Christianity. And it might be well to point out again here that traditional Muslims fervently disavow Elijah Muhammad's homegrown brand of Islam. The Orthodox Muslim is quick to affirm that there is no hate in his religion, and that man of whatever color or nationality is welcome in his faith.
That is a white man's religion.
For you and I. There is no salvation in Christianity but life. but just you get none. Regardless to your prayers for the Father and the Son, you get no justice. And what good is Christianity to you and I if the religion and the God of that religion will not defend us against wrong, against lynching, against rape?
After the speech in Uline Arena, Elijah Muhammad elaborated on his charges against Christianity for reporter Lomax.
Christians, no. Do you think that Christianity is a religion of deliverance for the black man? No. Do you think that Christianity has been a religion of enslavement for the black man? Yes. What do you think of the... It was Christian fathers who enslaved our fathers. They're always Christians. In fact about it, the white race is really the Christians, as we refer to them. I could never be a Christian, though I joined Christianity, but I could never be a Christian unless I was white. You don't think a black man can be a Christian, sir? By nature, we are not Christians. By nature, we are born Muslims. Do you think that faith is our natural faith? It is the natural religion of man, according to the teachings of the Holy Quran 30 and 30. Sir, about how many so-called American Negroes have you been able to convert during the years of your teaching? That runs into hundreds of thousands, but that don't mean they all have continued to follow on with it. But there has been hundreds of thousands taught.
Thus the story is told, a small but growing segment of the American Negro population has learned to hate before the Christian white man could learn to love. But what do Negro Christian leaders say? Do they too believe that Christianity has failed the Negro? Is it an instrument of subjugation? Reporter Lomax put these questions to the Reverend Adam Clayton Powell, pastor of the world's largest Protestant congregation.
Do you believe that Christianity, and since you are a Protestant, I will put it in that context, do you believe that Protestantism has been the Negro's friend? Do you think that it has functioned as a religion of deliverance for Negroes, or has it been guilty of dragging its feet, so to speak, on this question? Well, again, I'd like to say that the words of Jesus weren't aimed at Protestants only. They were aimed at all people, Protestants and Catholics, who believed in Christianity. So I would therefore like to answer your question against that background. I believe that Christianity in the United States has been dragging its feet. I don't think there's any other force in America that has been more detrimental to the solution of our racial problems than Christianity, because you cannot expect the man in the street to practice Christianity better than his priest or his pastor in the pulpit. And the fact that there is more segregation in the United States of America on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock than at any other time in our national life is the tragic proof of what I'm stating.
And so it becomes easier for us to understand why talk of integration has become a kind of wistful pie in the sky for a growing number of Negroes. Easier to understand why they turn to the Muslims, a group they believe will do something for them. Why they lose patience with NAACP talk of gradual integration, when what they want is immediate equality and separation. Is this black supremacist doctrine making headway among New York Negroes? Let's go to the streets of Harlem and find out.
This is classified as hate when we are telling our people that it is time for them to organize and learn to